Hey folks, this is going to be a lesson on how to write songs. So I have a lot of students that are now writing their own songs and they come up with a few chords and they want to know what could I do next. So there's some basic principles at work here. First of all, you want to know what key you're in. If you can figure out what key you're in, then you have more options that you probably haven't used yet to get you to a chorus or a bridge, things like that. So to find what key you're in, we need to know how to play a major scale. So I'm going to show you this major scale here. This is going to be like for E. So a major scale has what they call whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, which is whole step to get to the second note, whole step to get to the third note, then a half step to get to the fourth note, and then you got 3 more whole steps and another half step to get you all the way back to the beginning. So whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Okay, so if we're in E, we're starting on E. The first whole step is going to be 2 frets to the second fret. That's F sharp. 2 more frets is going to be the next whole step. So that's the 4th fret. That's G sharp. Then we're going to have a half step that takes us to A. So A is the 4th of E. You might have seen that a lot. You're playing an E chord. You go down to the 4 chord. That's A. And the 5 chord is B. So if we look at this again, we got whole step takes us to the second note. Whole step to the third note. Half step to the 4th, whole step to the 5th, whole step to the 6th, whole step to the 7th, and half step to the 8th, which is also the 1 again up on its octave. So once again, the key of E was E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, and E. Now what if we were on the A string? We'd have A, B, this is C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. Okay, so that's how you find a major scale. If we had to do a weirder key, let's say B flat right here. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So we're gonna start on this B flat. We go B flat to C, and then we go to D, and then we got E flat, and then we got F, and then we got G, and then we got A, and then we got back to B flat. So that's how you find a major scale. If you can find a major scale, you can put all the chords into the notes of the scale, and you can have all the chords in that whole key very easily. So let's take a look at the E again. So the 1 chord of a key, like I said, the 1 and the 4 and the 5. So that you could also look at those like this: E and A and B. Those are the 1, 4, and 5. Those are the major chords of the key. So in any key, the first note, the 4th note, and the 5th note get major chords. And you can always break these rules, but these are the basic rules to get started with songwriting. So the notes that we skipped, the 2nd note and the 3rd note and the 6th note, those all get minor chords. So 2, 3, and 6 are the minor chords. 1, 4, 5 are the major chords. So we got E, then we have F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A major, B major, C sharp minor, and then this last one would be the D sharp minor 7 flat 5. So that would be like a 6, 7, 6, 7, starting on the A string and going down the 4 middle strings. So that's called a half diminished. That doesn't get used a lot. We're not really going to deal with that right now. But it's basically like you got the earth, right? The earth is like half happy chords, half darker chords, and 1 weird jazzy chord to make it all spin around in a circle, right? So that's what's going on here. So basically, you want to know your bar chords to be able to do this and to be able to write songs and play in different keys and stuff. So let's take a quick look at our bar chords. So this F sharp minor, that was 2, 4, 4, and barring all those 2s. Now say we get up to this A, I put the middle finger in there on the 6th fret of the G string, and that makes a major chord, whereas if I pulled it out, that would be a minor chord. So let's look down here. We got a B minor chord, starting on the 5th string. We got 2, 4, 4, 3, and 2. So that's a B minor chord. So this would be like a C sharp minor chord. Now if we wanted to do a major chord here, this would be like 5, 7, 7, 7. That'd be a D major chord. So you want to know those chords, and you want to probably get into thinking about your 7 chords. That's kind of the next step if you want to have a little bit jazzier of a tune. Now the most famous songs that come out these days have 4 chords. They play those 4 chords over and over and over and over again. They never do anything else but that. But they layer in things, they change beats, they do stops, they do different songwriting techniques that make a song flow and have, develop into different pieces and stuff. I feel like it has a build and a crescendo and a climax and a finish and, a wind down or whatever it might be. But if you go back to like the 50s and the 60s, a lot of songs only had 3 chords. They had those 3 happy chords, or they made them into blues chords. So that would be like E7, A7, B7, E7. Now, they could have just been major chords. And a lot of times when you add a minor chord to those 3 major chords, it would be the 6. So in this case, here's the 1, A is the 4, B is the 5, C sharp minor would be the 6. That's the relative minor of E. That's like brother and sister. You got the major one and you got kind of its minor sort of equivalent. Okay, so let's try to use some examples and figure out how to find what key a song is in and how to start using chords in a key to write your own song. So there's 2 great giveaways. So like I said, you got a major and then you got a minor and a minor. Well, there's only that one place in a key where there you have a minor and then 2 frets up from it, 1 whole step up from it, you have another minor. That's got to be the 2 and the 3. So it's a dead giveaway. So if you had like a A minor to B minor, well, the A is the 2nd note of the scale. That would happen to put it in the key of G. G, A, B. So G would have a major, A would have a minor, B would have a minor, C would have a major, D a major, and E a minor. So if you have 2 minor chords, 1 step away from each other, that tells you, like in this case, F sharp minor to G sharp minor. This is the 2nd note of the scale because that's the 2 and the 3. So the 1 of the scale would be this E. So it would be the key of E. Okay? So let's say we're in the key of E. You'd want to write down all your chords. You got E major, F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A. You got B. You could also make that B a B7. It's very common. Without getting into all the 7s, the 5 chord can also be a dominant 7 blues chord. And then we've got this 6 chord. We're not going to worry about that 7 right now. So E, F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A, B or B7, and C sharp minor. Okay? Now a lot of songs will start on the chord of the key, but you don't have to do that. You could start, like say, going from the 4 to the 5. Then you can go back to the 1. So not all songs start on the 1. So you can really mix it up. You could even start on the, say, the 5 chord. And then go to the 1. You could start in a minor sound. You could start on that 6 chord. You can just do those 2 chords for a while. If you wanted to move on, you find another chord in the key. Still haven't gone to the 1 chord yet, right? So at any point, that could be like a verse and maybe a chorus, those 2 little parts there, and then you might wait, like the bridge might be. You've been waiting on that to use that 1 chord, that E chord. So you can start wherever you want. You can move wherever you want. When you're looking for a new part, you might think of reordering your chords. Say if you had a 4 chord thing. You get to the chorus, you might stick with those same 4 chords, but you might reverse the order in some way so it sounds like something different. And then if you wanted a bridge, you might use a chord that you have not used yet in the song. Then it really feels like you're moving on into a new direction. Okay? I'm going to give you an example now of a song that does not stay in the same key. So Creep by Radiohead has 2 different modulations within its 4 chord thing that keeps going over and over again. So like I said, that's one of those songs that has 4 chords and they just keep going and there's nothing else to it, but they layer things and they add beats and they take away dynamics and add things and stuff. So this song starts with G. Now in the key of G, we would have A minor and B minor, but this has a B major, or call it a B7, either way. So we got G, B7. So right there, they've modulated. Because this is not, if this was the 5 chord, we would be in the key of E, and the key of E has a G sharp in it. So right there, it's like, it's in G, but it modulates. A lot of times the 3 chord of a key can become like a dominant 7 or a major. That's like a real kind of New Orleans-y type effect. So a lot of cool songs have the 3 where it does not stay minor. But that would be a modulation, that would be like an added trick. And that's what they're doing here. So they got G, and they got B7, or B major. And then they got C, which is the 4 chord of G, which makes sense. But then they take that C and they go C minor. So there is never a C major and a C minor in the same song without it modulating or changing keys in that moment. So let's take a look at that again. We got G. So this is the 1. And then we have a dominant 7 for the 3, or call it a major. Then we have the 4. But then we have minored the 4. I'm going to go back. So if this song stayed in the same key, it'd be like, it would have to go like, you know, some other minor chord. It wouldn't be able to do that C minor. So anyway, let's go through this again. So the easiest way to write songs is to know what key you're in, and you want to know the whole half, whole half. You want to be able to do that and start on any note and go up 1 string and be able to maybe write them all down. And then you can put chords to each one of those notes. Like I say, don't worry about the 7th one right now, but the 1st, the 4th, and the 5th are all majors. The 2nd, 3rd, and 6th are all minors. So let's pick one more key, key of C. We got C, the 2nd note, and you also want to know like your major scale pattern like that to be able to kind of make it easier doing it in a different way, not have to go up and learn your notes in a different way down here too. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, all the natural notes. So C is the first one. C is a major. D is the 2nd note, D minor. E is the 3rd note, E minor. Like I say, sometimes you can make that 3 a dominant 7. But we got C major, D minor, E minor, and then F is the 4th note, that's a major. G is the 5th note, major, could be a 7. A is the 6th note. So in the key of C, you got all these chords. C, you might go to G, you might go down to F, you go to D minor, you go to E minor, you go F to G again, A minor, E minor, D minor, back to C. And if you wanted a bridge, you know, you might think it's something you hadn't really relied on too much for a new part, like. And that's just winging it, you know, there's so many ways you can do it. But it's really good to learn all those chords. You want to know your bar chords, and then when you get into the next step, this would be like, say if we're in C again. What if we wanted to use 7s and get more jazzy? So we have C major 7, you pull that 1 out of there. The first chord, major, would always turn into a major 7 if you added a 7 to it. Now the D, this would be a D minor, would make that a D minor 7. Same thing with E minor 7. And then we get up to this F, we make that an F major 7. So that's like 8, 10, 9, 10, 8. Or down here. 3, 2, 1, open on the bottom right. So that would be F major 7. So the 1 and the 4, those 2 majors would both become major 7s. Whereas the 5th chord of the key, the G, that would become a dominant 7. 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 3. Just like before, the 5 chord is like a turnaround chord, so it's always a dominant 7. It's the only one that would be dominant 7 to stay in the same key. When you see those blues songs that are all 7 chords, those are like modulating the whole time too. So the 6th chord then would be A minor, but it could become A minor 7. And again, if you wanted the 7 chord, B minor 7 flat 5, 2, 3, 2, 3 in this case. B half diminished, they call it, or B minor 7 5. Take you back to that C major 7. So once again, that was C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7. There's another way to do it. 2-2 with the 3 on the second string. F major 7, G dominant 7. You can also play like that with the open one. A minor 7, B half diminished, back to C major 7. Okay, so I hope that helped. I'm Damon Wood. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And lots more lessons coming soon. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you.